Hi everyone, welcome to this pre-election coverage video here where I will be doing the final predictions here for the U.S. Senate in 2022. And Democrats start off here with an advantage in all non-contested seats because they currently have 36 of these seats and Republicans have 29 seats. So this map, despite the fact that I think it's going to be a pretty good red wave year for the Republicans. This map in the Senate's not particularly favorable to them, unlike the governor's race where they currently hold more uncontested governor seats, and the House where all of the seats in the House are up for reelection. So let's go ahead here and let's start off with the West Coast here. In the state of Oregon, there's a lot of buzz right now around the governor's race, where I think Christine Drazan is going to pull off the upset. But in terms of the Senate here, Ron Wyden, who's the Democrat running, he has much more name recognition than his opponent, Joe Wade Perkins. And I think that you're going to see a lot of split ticket voting here. And I think that Oregon will be won by a safe margin, meaning by 10 or more points here by Ron Wyden. Same thing with California. I think California is going to be safe blue here. This could potentially have been more interesting if the Republicans had run someone with a little bit more name recognition against Alex Padilla, and two, if Larry Elder had actually gotten closer, actually beaten Gavin Newsom in the governor's race a couple of years ago. But as it stands right now, Newsom is probably the leading presidential contender here in terms of the Democratic nomination. And so I would actually expect this state to go a safe blue here by quite a large margin. Alaska is going to go red. We know that. The question is it going to be Murkowski, or is it going to be Kelly Tshibaka? And I think that Murkowski is going to win. Murkowski has better name recognition. I think that she's more trusted probably among independent voters. She still is a Republican, but more of a McConnell Republican, whereas Tshibaka is more of a Trump Republican. Murkowski actually even managed to win a write-in campaign during the height of the Tea Party era. So I think Murkowski's probably going to win that by I would say a likely margin at this point. Now the state of Hawaii, this state is going to be safe Democrat. Brian Schatz has, I think, significantly more name recognition, and the Republicans they had a shot, I think, back in the mid 2000s when Linda Lingle was running, and she actually, I think, managed to create some buzz about this race here. But I think that this cycle it's going to pretty much stay well within Democratic hands. On the other hand, Republicans, they'll have the advantage here in Idaho. This will be easily a safe red state here. Mike Crapo. Democrats, they'll get their votes in and around some of the areas in Boise, but definitely not enough to make the state competitive. North Dakota, John Hoeven, who was the governor in the 2000s, and then he ran for Senate on that Tea Party wave in 2010. Still very popular in the state of North Dakota. They have a good candidate, the Democrats do, but I think that their bench has just really gotten thin as the state has really emerged as a very solid Republican enclave. Same thing with South Dakota. I think that John Thune is very much a household name here, and he'll do well in pretty much every county in the state. He may even win Minnehaha County. I do think that Brian Bings, like he'll win Pine Ridge. He'll probably he'll win his fair share of districts in downtown Sioux Falls, but this is neither of these Dakota races are going to be competitive. really the same thing with Kansas. I think that Kansas, the governor's race is probably going to be a lot closer than the Senate race here. Um, Jerry Morgan is just going to. I think there's just not a lot of controversy going on right now. They did have their abortion referendum there, but I don't think that's going to make much of a difference as far as the Senate race there goes. Oklahoma, we have the special election and the quote unquote regular election. The special election, Markwayne Mullin, I guess, is perceived to be the candidates who's running against the stronger Democrat there in Kendra Horn. But I think that ultimately he'll be able to win safe. And James Lankford, who's I think much well more known, he'll also win that by a good margin over Madison Horn. Kendra Horn, Madison Horn, they're not related either. Should probably point that out as well. But I think that in a red wave year, this is a state that's gonna stay as it is as far as the GOP goes. Same thing with Iowa. I think Grassley. I think age is somewhat going to be a factor here, but his opponent has gotten himself involved in some scandal, and I think that Iowa has really lost some of its elasticity and is maintaining its status as a more red state. Missouri had this going for it even a few years before Iowa has, and they've got a good candidate with Eric Schmidt as far as the Republicans go. In 2020, Trump won all but 3 counties in this state. So I think that the Republicans are going to hold this without too much trouble at all. Same thing with Arkansas. The Democrats are running a candidate in Arkansas this cycle, but they're getting very heavily outraised here. And then Indiana, it looks like Gary uh, or Gary Chambers rather is the top Democrat challenging Kennedy here, but I think that Kennedy is going to pull through this primary without geez.